You know, I only have a few years left in life, maybe 20 years, 15 maybe. So I've thought about what's the most important thing that I could do in the time that I have here. And taking care of my grandkids and making sure that they have a place to enjoy, that they have streams to enjoy, that they have wildlife to enjoy. That's probably one of the most important things I can do.
Nestle is drawing water from a spring or a well within the National Forest, within public lands that are owned by the people of the United States. It's drawing that water and then it's diverting it in a pipe down several miles to outside of the forest.
Nestle has an expired special use permit issued in 1978 that expired in 1988. That permit allowed them to occupy National Forest land with the infrastructure necessary to remove water. And they take anywhere from 50 to 150 million gallons a year, depending on certain conditions.
So the Forest Service maybe is getting a pittance of what this water is worth. We're subsidizing a business that depletes that public land resource and that then creates a cost on down the line in its life cycle as well in the waste management cost.
The drought drags on, the watershed, grows drier. Why is a foreign corporation like Nestle being allowed to withdraw millions and millions of gallons out of our watershed, making a huge, huge profit?
Do you have any intention of ceasing bottling operations in California?
Absolutely not. In fact, if I could increase it, I would. We feel good about what we're doing.
Strawberry Creek is just barely hanging on, basically, because there's so much water removed. And then when we saw the drought that's currently going on, that's the worst drought in recorded history here. So all of that together made me really worry about Strawberry Creek. I thought there's a good chance we could completely dry Strawberry Creek up.
The strawberry drainage is a critical drainage for our plant and animal communities. And it becomes more and more critical every year because as the urban population in Southern California grows, the national forests down in Southern California are becoming more and more isolated islands of plant and animal communities.
This is a dry habitat, which means that those riparian areas, those areas that are wet, are essential, especially in dry years like this year, to wildlife.
And it's at 0.18 now, 0.18 cubic feet per second, which is nothing. I mean, it's almost no water. Species that have lived there over eons of time could be lost. It's just it's a terrible thing.
The Forest Service hasn't looked at this in a number of years, and so they can't say, yes, we're protecting those public resources. Yes, we're making sure that there's sufficient water for all the species. Yes, we're making sure that we're holding this in trust for the people of the United States. We're using it in a sustainable way. And they're obligated by law to use the resources on the National Forest in a sustainable way.
A year ago, I started begging the Forest Service and Nestle's to start meeting together, to start talking about Strawberry Creek, to work together on their permit and on protecting the National Forest. And I was begging them to do that, and still nothing's happened. There's still no meetings. There's just talk.
Everybody in California is affected by the drought, but not Nestle or any other water bottling company. I mean, this is our water. The water in those mountains belong to every Californian and every taxpayer in America.
Personally, I invested 40+ years of my life being a professional forester, and I care a great deal that public land in our country is properly managed, especially in a manner that makes sure that the goods and services it provides are there for future generations. And that's not how it's being managed right now.